What's good, my ghouls and goblins? Welcome back to your weekly horror movie podcast, Reely Scared. No need for any great fanfare introductions. I think we've made it to the point where you should just open up with the top goblin on screen. He needs no introduction.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we are the best horror podcast on the internet that broadcasts live. So some say, we're the only one, but
some say
we're the greatest.
Some say we're the best, but they don't like when I say that.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys tonight. I feel like, all things considered, like I haven't had a ton of fun the last 2 or 3 days.
It's been so stressful.
Yeah, we're coming in, and I feel like not that anybody needs us to announce this, but I feel like for like the record, we almost need to contextualize where we have gone live in the midst of the presidential election. There's I like to believe there's a very real possibility they might call this thing in the middle of us being live. And I think it would be hilarious to announce to the world who the president is via Reely Scared. I would love the opportunity to do that. Never thought that would be in the cards for me. So we'll see. And we're very cognizant of the fact that people got shit to worry about and talk about that isn't horror movies right now. And I would not fault anybody, for prioritizing perhaps other live feeds at this moment. But we do this show every Thursday night. We wanted to stick to that. We wanted to have a little bit of fun.
And if there are any major updates, we do have it on in the background. So if there are any major announcements, we will announce them. So, I mean, why not kind of just relax a little bit?
Yeah.
Have a little bit of a distraction, and we're not going to leave you out in the cold. We're going to let you know if anything happens.
Connor's got the magic wall. He's watching it. If there's any updates, he's going to let you have it in real time, so you don't.
Yeah, I'll break it down like John King.
He's gonna bust out a little arithmetic and let us know what the respective paths to victory might be at this time. So if you needed a break from the constant, I don't even know if you know what doom scrolling at this. For me, it's just more like anxiety scrolling, maybe.
I for the last 2 nights, I've fallen asleep with CNN on.
Yeah, it's what I hear when I go to sleep. It's what I hear when I wake up.
Yep.
Yep. And I always wonder when I turn over in the morning, is this shit over? No, it's exactly where it left off when I fell asleep. So, again, if this isn't what if you don't need a distraction, we get it. If you do need a distraction, we're here for you. We're going to talk about some shit that's relative, by comparison, quite trivial and quite silly, but it brings us joy. And sometimes that's what matters most, If you're not getting joy out of this thing, what's the point? So we're gonna have some fun conversation. We're gonna talk about some silly stuff. We're gonna talk about horror movies, and we got a great show for you. We've got a little bit of horror movie news. Obviously, we're gonna be talking about the new Brandon Cronenberg movie, Possessor. We've been anticipating getting to watch that and talk about that for quite some time. And let's say, you see it at the bottom there, wretchedapparel.com, baby.
They got new designs.
That's right, new designs. I'm going to throw it for you right here. We talk about ghouls and goblins. I feel like this is pretty ghoulish in its own respect. Well, pow! Look at this. Just went live on wretchedapparel.com. New art, new designs.
And you can get it 10% off with code Reely Scared.
Promo code Reely Scared. Just spelled like it is in the show, all one word. ReelyScared. Get you 10% off. I know there was a little bit of a stumble at the start with the promo code. I know people had told me they were trying to check out and it wasn't working for them, but it's working now. I assure you. Wretchedapparel.com. They just debuted a ton of great new art. I've already put my order in, and that's not a joke. That's not BS. That the slasher hoodie, man, so cool. I had to get one. So looking forward to having even more Wretched. I got mine on right now. You can see Cthulhu lording over the dark haunted seas. WretchedApparel.com. Promo code Reely Scared gets you 10% off. You gotta love it. We call them ghouls and goblins, and if you're a ghoul, I feel like you gotta have this shirt. Or if you're a goblin, maybe you don't commit to either one of those identities. Maybe you're somewhere in between. That's totally fine. No one's telling you how you need to feel or live your life, but I am telling you, you need to have Wretched Apparel in your life, and you can do so at 10% off. And it supports the show. It's one of the top things you can do to support the show here.
Yeah.
There's another great thing you can do to support the show, Connor. Do you know what it is?
It is watch and follow us on Twitch.
On Twitch. Maybe you've noticed
so close to being affiliates.
That's the goal. Close. That's the goal. We're trying to make strides and progress at every avenue that we can, and we are working on growing our platform on Twitch. We want that coveted affiliate status, and we can't do it without your help. We need you to follow us on Twitch. Maybe you like watching us on Facebook. Maybe you like watching us on YouTube. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe you watch us on Twitter. Nothing wrong with that. However, if you like the show, want to support the show and the channel, head on over to Twitch. If you don't have a Twitch, it's free to make an account, and you just follow us. And I would recommend trying to watch us on Twitch because I think it's a great platform. I love watching stuff on Twitch. But at the very least, if you make that account and you hit follow, it helps us. And that said, you should watch us on Twitch because we've had a lot of new gaming content showing up on the channel. Been a long time coming. Maybe you've caught Matt and Nick doing a ton of Jackbox content. Did like, what, a 4-hour Jackbox stream? 5-hour stream on Tuesday, just relentlessly playing Jackbox with viewers. So cool. Love to see that. And you, Mr. Breedlove, been streaming quite a bit too. What do you want to tell people?
The playthrough for Blair Witch is up there. I played that, and I've been playing Vampire, so I'm going to be streaming that often. After this whole process is done, I'll get back to streaming Vampire.
Hey, you mentioned Blair Witch. I heard we got a clip right here. I want to check it out.
What the? How did I end up back here?
Whoa! Fucking Christ!
That one was different. The light just made it angry.
That was genuine fear. I was so scared. And that was great. Like in the middle of the day.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. It's what you like to see. I feel like there's not a lot for the two guys who do Really Scared. I don't think you get a lot of opportunities to see us actually be scared.
Yeah.
That's more of Chris Anthony Lopez's role on this channel. But a great plus to see you get scared on the stream playing Blair Witch. And I understand you're going to be playing more horror games. Like you said, you're playing Vampire.
Vampire. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I think it's Vampire.
And I absolutely intend on getting involved one way or another on.
Yeah, because I think there are plans. We do plan on playing the Dark Picture games eventually, because that's multiplayer. So there's going to be a lot more coming from the gaming side of Really Scared. So
yeah, we're really building a presence on Twitch, and we would love to see you over there if you're not already watching us, because there's going to be exclusive content showing up all through the week, every week over on our Twitch. That is, of course, WAT_REEL podcast. So go follow us on Twitch, and of course, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. That helps us out a great deal as well. And go to wretchedapparel.com, 10% off. Wretched apparel, or promo code Really Scared, get you 10% off. Before we hop into our horror movie news, Connor, I gotta know, what have you been watching lately?
What have I been watching? I watched Knock Knock.
Keanu?
Yep. Eli Roth.
Yeah, I've never actually seen that movie.
Ana de Armas. It's a good movie. I like it.
That's over on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it might be Eli Roth's best movie.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's not really saying much. I mean,
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, it's better than Cabin Fever and better than Hostel.
Okay. All right. I believe
So,
you.
yeah, it's good.
Take it
And Keanu does like a borderline Nick Cage performance.
Oh,
It's good.
he gets a little bit out of his register. Maybe he gets a
Yeah.
little wacky.
There's a good like freak out scene. He's like tied up in a chair, and he has like a Nick Cage level freak out scene. It's
Okay.
so good.
Keanu's usually so measured in his performances.
Yeah.
Even like Bill and Ted.
It's like like even though it's like an over the top performance, it's like baseline. There's no like peaks or anything.
Yeah.
It's just very baseline. And Knock Knock, it's like peaks.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great way to market that film to me.
Yeah, it's good. Definitely check it out.
Okay.
And then I've been watching CNN.
Yeah, that's majority of my spare time watching has been just seeing John King work magic across the wall. So, it's not been the most joyous experience. Definitely been peaks and valleys throughout. And now it's just kind of force of habit. Like I can't help myself. It's just what I put on. Should mention this is the first show we are doing since exiting Reeloween. Halloween night went out, did a little trick-or-treating action with just the kids, my favorite ghoul. We watched, it wasn't the first time for me, of course, but we watched John Carpenter's original Halloween. I was campaigning to do it all night, and we got about an hour in, which means she fell asleep right before any of the slasher stuff happened.
Yeah.
She was on board for all the build-up, him getting out, him stalking Lori, the dog, and we got all the way up till it was about to become a true slasher movie, and it was bedtime, so she didn't see that. But so I saw most of Halloween, which has always been my tradition. Not an outrageously original one, but it's just the mood you're in. You got to watch Halloween on Halloween. What else are you gonna do? Come on, what else are you gonna do? Fucking up. And that's really it for me. That's really all I've been watching. Other than that, I'm doing homework and doom scrolling, and in the same boat many of us are in right now. So
most of the nights are just us like texting about what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, just
like election night was chaotic. We were just texting back and forth like, oh my god.
Yeah, just a lot of neurotic ranting, and the Watt group chats become kind of a support group. And
it really has.
The last 3 or 4 days, it's been somewhat therapeutic and very appreciated, that group chat. What do you say we hop into a little horror movie news?
Let's do it.
Let's get in there before we move on to our review of Possessor tonight. Starting off, I know you got to be excited about this.
Oh yeah,
you got to be excited about this because there is a new Final Destination movie coming, and I didn't know to expect this at all.
No, it's always been like a rumor that like they were working on one, and then the writer of all of them, he came out and he was like, "Yeah, it's written, and we were going to shoot it before the pandemic." So, but that was put on hold. But they still intend to shoot it when everything clears up. So,
yeah, they said, it's in a different continuity.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Because I know you're a huge fan of the entire franchise.
I am a big fan of the franchise. I'm fine with it being in a different continuity. I mean, like the last one was actually really good, but no one saw it, and it has like a really great twist ending. That like you watch it and you have no idea it's coming, and then the whole ending is just like, holy shit.
Is there any real like reason or benefit to it being in the same continuity, or would it not really make much of a difference?
It wouldn't make a difference if it is or if it isn't. Okay. I just hope
it's always people who don't know each other. Like if they're not direct sequels, right? It's just like
1 and 2 are direct sequels.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
3 is really good, but has nothing to do with the other ones.
Is 3 the one with the log scene?
No, that's 2.
Do you see like that actually happened the other day?
I did not see that.
Like driving on the highway.
Final Destination is most people's fears, like the driving behind a semi with logs. Most people's fear of that came from Final Destination.
Yeah.
Like they did a poll, and like almost every fear someone has of like some like freak accident happening, it's like from that, like getting caught in an elevator, like getting your head stuck or a body part stuck in an elevator. That's from Final Destination.
Yeah.
Log is from Final Destination. Like roller coasters, like the fear of roller coasters spiked with Final Destination 3. Like these movies definitely fuck with people.
Yeah, they just remind you how fragile and mortal you truly are, and that death is creeping around every corner, and it might jump out and say what's up. You never know. But that log thing actually happened on the highway the other day.
That's insane.
The person driving the car ended up being okay, but the photo's nuts. It's seriously like 20 logs just like through their windshield and like out
oh my
the back
god,
of the car. And somehow they were okay, miraculously. But yeah, I saw that going around. Everybody obviously.
I hope they do something different with it. I hope they do something new, inventive, and don't make it campy. Don't make it schlocky like the fourth one. Make it scary.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it feels like you could go any direction with that because it's not based on, again, like recurring characters or an overlying continuity or like a central antagonist. Like you can make those movies about anything. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense to do another one. I bet you do you think they'll just call it Final Destination? They'll just do what they all do now.
Yeah.
Just reboot it, restart. I think it makes a ton of sense to do another one.
I'm excited.
Yeah, why not? Got my favorite girl in the chat. What's going on? How you doing, honey? Thanks for watching.
Just trying to have a moment of fun.
Staying alive on this cursed earth. Do what we can. Enjoying a little vino. Trying to stay sane.
A little bit of Shiraz.
There it is. I got Sauvignon. It's $7.
I have a sweet Shiraz. It's called Jam Jar. It's very good.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Sounds nice. Cheers. Cheers to you, friend. I should hold it up when I say cheers. There we go. That's it. That's the sauce. That's the good sauce. Next up, we got some sad news. Castle Rock not being brought back for a third season officially. I kind of suspected as much, but they made the announcement official. Apparently, according to them, there was never any plan to do a third season. So it's not like they were working on it and they got the plug pulled. They just weren't working on it. And they don't expect to see it go to HBO Max because this is a Warner Brothers joint. And all their original content's now getting funneled to HBO. They don't expect to see it move over there or anything like that. Apparently, just a done deal.
I mean, there wasn't much like hype about the second season as there was for the first. I wonder if it was a mistake doing anthology instead of continuing like what they set up with the first season.
Did you watch the second season?
Yeah, I watched most of it. I don't think I ever finished it. It didn't grip me like the first one. Because here's a vague spoilers. They do connect it to the first season. Oh.
Did you get that far?
No,
but not in a way that becomes apparent till like this last or like second to last episode.
Okay.
So it's not like in a way that they would have marketed or anything like that.
Yeah. Because they set up so much cool stuff at the end of the first season.
Yeah, that's.
And then I was like, oh, I hope they continue that.
And
like you had Jackie Torrance.
I thought it was bizarre that it never came back up again in the second season. That like shining hook. And they're like, it's Misery and Salem's Lot now. But I thought the second season was okay. I think it ran a little bit longer than it probably needed to. I remember having a couple episodes that felt sort of fillery or boring. But I thought it was all right. I thought Lizzie Kaplan was really great as Annie Wilkes, which high bar to clear when you're following up Kathy Bates.
Yeah,
pretty iconic performance in film. No, I thought. It was a cool. It was a weird idea for a show too. I mean, I know Stephen King's. He always writes from that like multiverse and like the Dark Tower connects everything, and some of those do and they intersect in ways that are obvious, but it was still kind of a weird idea for a show of like take a bunch of Stephen King properties, but we're not just going to do, you know, Pet Sematary, the show. Instead, It's going to be like the dad from Pet Sematary moved to Derry or whatever. You know what I mean? Is a weird idea. I thought it worked okay. I'm not shocked to see it's gone, but I would have watched a third season, whatever that's worth. So kind of a shame. And I feel like there's definitely more stories to tell. I mean, ultimately, does anything that could be adapted by Stephen King will be adapted at this point. Although we haven't announced anything, I feel like in a long time on here, or talked about any new announced adaptations for Stephen King.
The last announcement was what all the stuff from If It Bleeds, when
I think
literally all those got sold off immediately.
Yeah, it's been a while. I guess maybe they just need to wait for him to write something else so we can immediately get the. I'm trying to think, was The Institution? I wonder if that was his last novel for If It Bleeds. I can't remember.
I don't think it ever got picked up.
I'm sure one of these fuckers will get it.
Yeah,
they'll want it adapted. You can't get enough Stephen King. Speaks to like how frequently he is adapted. Like he goes 3 months without anything getting adapted, and I'm like, man, what's going on? What's the deal?
It's crazy that all that like restarted in like 2014, like when it was announced, and then after that, everything was being adapted from him.
Yeah, although we do know we'll see Pennywise back in Space Jam 2, so there's something.
Yeah,
crossing up. Jessica's rewatching Mindhunter, another show we're apparently never getting more of. That one really makes me sad. Because that show was brilliant. But David Fincher said Netflix doesn't want to pay up anymore because not enough people watched it. So if you didn't watch Mindhunter, it's your fault. You should feel bad about that. Yeah, I can't believe you purposely did this if you didn't watch Mindhunter. It's all your fault. I love that show. We aren't getting more Mindhunter, but I'll tell you what we are getting more of. Orphan.
What?
Who'd have thought?
That shocked me. I dropped my microphone.
Who would have thought we were getting some more Orphan, or as I so eloquently put it, Morphin.
It's a perfect title for that sequel, Morphin.
Little Morphin. Orphan 2. Or what is it called? Orphan First Kill.
Yeah.
It's very Rambo-esque to me. Orphan First Kill.
It makes no sense. I don't think anybody was clamoring for a second one like 12 years later.
No, I mean, look, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I recall liking Orphan. You know, kind of definitely a unique twist on the old evil kid subgenre.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was really weird.
Very weird, very unique.
Because I think it came out around the same time as Splice, and people were just like, the fuck are these movies?
Oh, well, Splice is the one with like the weird
alien sex scene.
Yeah.
With Adrian Brody.
The horny thing with the tail or whatever. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, Orphan I dug all right. I thought it was pretty creepy. I don't really know because it's called Orphan 2, but it's a prequel, and spoilers if you haven't seen the first Orphan, but you know the twist in it obviously is that the little girl's not a little girl, but actually like a 40-year-old woman with like a birth condition. I was gonna say birth defect, but I don't think that's quite accurate. But
like a condition, like a genetic condition where she looks like a child. Yeah, but the child actor is not a child anymore, and she looks grown up.
Yeah, she's an adult, and it's a prequel, so it takes place before this. And I mean I don't know how they're going to pull this. They said through like very good visual effects and forced perspective, they're going to make her appear as a child again. This is like the last movie that really lends itself to a prequel,
let alone a CGI heavy prequel.
Yeah, I don't know. They tried that out on Irishman, and I don't know. I don't know if it's quite ready to turn an adult into like a small child. I don't know if they're going to pull it off. But they released a plot synopsis. Leanna Clammer, who I don't remember, is that I will just call it The Orphan. That's what we call it. The Orphan orchestrates a brilliant escape from an Estonian psychiatric facility and travels to America. I'll go to America. By impersonating the missing daughter of a wealthy family. But the orphan's new life as Esther comes with an unexpected wrinkle and pits her against the mother who will protect her family at any cost. So I don't know. It just sounds like the first movie again, but
yeah,
prequel. Just it's Morphin.
It's Morphin.
Orphan again. Never stop.
Never stop orphaning.
If you were gonna be an orphan, like you should try not killing your adoptive family. I don't know. Like that might work out better for you.
Yeah, try not to kill them, and also like try not to fuck to death.
You should try not to. It's gotta be said. Here's some other shit I didn't know we were gonna get. Although there's like 10 of these movies, I'm pretty sure at this point. But this one's gross. Here it comes.
Oh god!
New Wrong Turn.
Yeah, it's a reboot.
A reboot. They might just be calling it Wrong Turn. They're doing that whole thing. I definitely have not seen all these movies. Connor, have you?
I've not seen all of them.
I think I've just seen
the last one I saw was like it was like snowy.
A snowy one?
Yeah.
Isn't Henry Rollins in one?
Yeah. I think he's like in the second one. Like,
okay.
Yeah, they're shooting like a reality TV show and they make a wrong turn.
Do all the movies have people who look like this?
Oh yeah.
That's a wild look, man. I haven't thought about it.
It's basically like cheap imitation of The Hills Have Eyes. I think Eliza Dushku was in the first one.
She took a wrong turn.
Yeah, took a wrong turn. Funny enough, my grandpa showed me these movies.
I thought you were gonna say like my grandpa was in one of them.
Yeah,
funny enough, this is my grandpa. Who knew?
No, yeah, he showed me that when I was like 12.
Your grandpa has a legendary filmography that he's enlightened you to.
Yes.
Yeah, New Wrong Turn. Is this something you would look forward to?
Yeah, I'll check it out. It's definitely not coming out in theaters. It's going to be like a VOD and then get shat on to Netflix. But I'll check it out.
He'll check it out. We also have casting announcement for the Resident Evil film. We got
still confused.
Donald Logue playing.
Look at him.
Chief Irons, the dastardly piece of shit. Chief Irons from Resident Evil 2.
Look at his stupid face.
Who are you talking about? Which one?
The sheriff.
Okay. Listen, that'll be so rude to Donald Logue.
No, he's cool. I like him.
He's cool. He's done a lot of stuff. Most recently, I think he's known for Gotham. That's what that photo's from, being Harvey Bullock. But also, what was the big sitcom? Grounded for Life?
Grounded for Life, yeah.
Grounded for Life, that was a big hit. He's done a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
His casting makes a lot of sense. He can play some shithead police chief while the city's on fire. He can pull that off. I'm looking forward to this Resident Evil.
So this one's coming to Netflix, right?
No, so this... Oh, was it for the Netflix series?
No, it's for the movie, but I thought the movie was also going to Netflix. I'm so confused by the movie and the series. Like I
think the movie's just a movie. I think it's okay. I think. Could be wrong. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's like an actual proper like studio theatrically released movie. I mean obviously in the current landscape, who actually knows what that even means right now, but I don't think it was a Netflix joint, and the series obviously is. That's true. He was also he wasn't. I'm sure he was in SVU because everybody was in SVU. But yeah, he was in Blade as well. And a lot of good stuff. I always enjoy seeing him pop up in something. But I'm looking forward to this new movie. They keep casting characters from the first and second game, so they must be doing some kind of like cutting back and forth between the mansion and the city. I'm imagining something like that. some kind of hybrid, which would be more true to the games than what we've received so far in film. So I'm excited for this. I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. Obviously, we're always a little skeptical when a video game's getting adapted, but I'm looking forward to this thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It is coming out in theaters.
There you go. I think it reportedly is supposed to come out like next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which that I'm skeptical about. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
we'll see if that actually happens.
I don't know if they started, and I don't know what the demand will be for once theaters open back up. People are like, you know what? Viral apocalypse.
Yeah. Like you might want to put it on the back burner for a little bit.
See how Songbird does first. If people show up for Songbird, then you know the water is warm. Hop right in. But if not, let's wait a little bit.
Yeah.
This sounds better than a Netflix series, which sounds like some weird Resident Evil fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like some non-canon tie-in novel or something like that, but the Wesker babies or some shit. This sounds cool. I'm looking forward to a new Resident Evil movie. This one, I'm going to let you take the wheel on this because I know you're very excited. I know you're a big fan of this man. I feel like I heard you mention him quite a couple times. Getting a new film coming from Ty West, correct?
Oh, yeah. It's called X. I think that's it. It's either X or 10, but it's just the letter X. There's no plot details, but the cast is pretty cool. I mean, it's his return to horror. He did it in A Valley of Violence, or In the Valley of Violence. That was his last movie with Ethan Hawke. He started out with horror with, the VHS movies, did The Innkeepers, The House of the Devil. He worked with Adam Wingard a lot. I think he helped on You're Next.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're just in like the same wheelhouse. They just like work on stuff together. But he's returning to horror with A24. It's called X. No plot details, but Kid Cudi is in it.
Kid Cudi
and Jenna Ortega. They're all in it.
She's from Babysitter.
Yep.
And Mia Goth's in a ton of horrifying
A
things.
Cure for Wellness. She's very creepy. But yeah, I'm super excited for this. I really like The Innkeepers. If you haven't seen that, it's a good spooky ghost movie.
Oh, and he did. Did you mention House of the Devil?
Yep, House of the Devil, which is so good.
Yeah, that movie rules.
Yeah.
I've seen Innkeepers as well. That movie's pretty solid too.
Yeah.
I feel like that I feel like I don't hear his name come up often except other from you. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why not? Seems like this dude makes some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, and even when he ventures outside of horror, I mean, In the Valley of Violence with Ethan Hawke was so good.
I didn't catch that one. I guess
if you like Bone Tomahawk, it's not really as like gritty as Bone Tomahawk, but it's
a gritty movie.
Yeah, but it's up there. It's really good.
I'll have to give it a spin.
Anything with Ethan Hawke is good. So
that's true. And look, teaming up with A24, come on, man. I'm a A24 show.
Yeah, A24 horror is like just top notch.
I'll take anything they put out.
Well, anything A24, but A24 horror, you can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong. And I want to watch First Cow. I got to see that first cow. I got to see that first cow. I didn't have it in the notes here, but since we're talking A24, they did announce Green Knight's going to be rated R, officially confirmed that. And I believe the description, they promised a little full frontal, a little whole hog action.
There is full hog. There's graphic nudity.
Yeah.
So, Dev Patel is probably going to slang some hog.
Green Knight tugs Pud. One take for 7 minutes.
And a little hint of what's to come up. There was some hog in Possessor. We'll get to that.
Yeah. Yeah. We're talking about gritty movies. We're talking about one tonight for sure in Possessor. Ty West, can't wait to see what he's doing with A24. And I can't wait for Green Knight. I wish when I saw it was in the headlines, I was like,
and same mod, I can't wait for a year full of A24. You got Green Knight and Saint Maud.
Saint Maud, that's right. Saint Maud. better put some release dates on those things soon, man. I'm
Yeah.
ready to watch. I'm ready to kneel at the throne of A24 and pay tribute. So get it out. I'm thirsty for it. This is pretty exciting news. Clive Barker officially announced as a producer, executive producer, on the HBO Hellraiser series. Now, this is significant because Barker's not been involved with Hellraiser since 1996. In fact, I believe he's been quite unimpressed with the franchise since he exited. I think last time we talked about Clive Barker, it was he was in the midst of, or like about to file a lawsuit to get the rights to the original.
Yeah, this is another one of those properties where I'm very confused about because they're doing a movie as well as the series.
Yeah, and I assumed when he was trying to get the rights back to the original story, I assumed that meant all this stuff was going to go away or like be put on hold until they figured out what's going on. Him being attached to it, I got to imagine that means maybe that's no longer the case.
Yeah, and this is a series. Yeah, this is a series. Do we know if he's involved in the movie at all?
I doubt it. I don't know. Yeah, Hellraiser is very complicated, or has become very complicated in the last year. I don't think he's involved in the film at all, but he's involved in the series, which is great because they already have David Gordon Green, obviously coming from New Halloween film fame on this.
Yeah.
They have what's it, Mike Dougherty, I think, also from like Trick or Treat and Godzilla. He's on top of this too. And now you got the man himself, the mind that this all originated from, the man who created the Cenobite, Clive Barker, involved as a producer. This is kind of huge.
You have the image from what Pinhead looks like in the series?
No, I don't have that ready to go. Unfortunately, I don't have whatever the last iteration of. He looks very silly. Pinhead looks very silly these days. You know what? He looks like he's let loose a little bit during quarantine. It is what it is. He doesn't look great. So this is if anything needed a reboot, it probably is either Hellraiser just needed to stop making things, period, or start over, start from scratch. And I think they've said like the series is not necessarily, it's not a remake of any of these stories. It's not like, oh hey, here's the first one. Season 1's the first movie or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's going to be its own thing using the same mythology and iconography of the at least the good films. You know, it's going to bring Pinhead back and the Cenobites back, but it's not worried about film continuity or remakes or anything like that.
Yeah, the film is directed by David Bruckner, who did The Ritual on Netflix. So I'm wondering if, I mean, that sounds promising. So I hope Clive Barker gets involved with that too. Hopefully he can just have his hands in both. Both sound interesting. I'm interested in the movie and I'm interested in TV series.
Yeah, I would trust that director to make a Hellraiser movie after The Ritual. But I would also, I mean, there's no bigger endorsement for this show now than Clive Barker's having some sort of input or influence on it and putting his name on it. So
yeah,
this is going to be huge. I mean, also just the promise of seeing HBO do Hellraiser sounds so fucking cool because HBO does such a great job pretty consistently with anything they put out. I mean, obviously we just wrapped up talking about Lovecraft Country every week for like the last 10 weeks. And, you know, that was an HBO spin on horror. And I can't wait to see what they do with something like Hellraiser. Jessica was saying, how about a 13 Ghosts remake or sequel or prequel? We could do like 12.
I would be interested in a 13 Ghosts prequel. I would love to spend time with all 13 ghosts before they were ghosts.
You know, they got to get to do that. Mike Flanagan.
That'd be really good.
I don't know if is there like a central location in that movie? The Haunting of Blank. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, it takes place in like a rich guy's like mansion, right?
Oh, look there. If it's a mansion, it's so easy. If it's a mansion.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure they can find a way to bring back his name's escaping me. We want him back for Scream. I'm sorry. My mind is not. Yeah, Matthew Lillard.
Well, they call it 14 Ghosts, and he's a ghost.
And he's a ghost. There we go. So we're going to do a sequel, 14 Ghosts. Matthew Lillard is headlining as the 14th Ghost.
There it is. Easy. Very easy to do. Yeah, 13 Ghosts is cool. I show up for that. I feel like that one's pretty like fondly remembered. You know, like doesn't come up a lot, but whenever it comes up, I always hear people saying they liked that movie and it freaked them out.
Yeah.
So 14 Ghosts. That's our make it a Really Scared production. Greenlit. You know what else is greenlit? You know what else we're going to be watching in a little while? A little film by the name of Willy's Wonderland.
Oh my god!
Because we got a trailer for it.
Teaser trailer.
Yeah, we got a little teaser. We got a little sneak peek of Willy's Wonderland, aka Nicolas Cage battling the evil animatronic animals movie.
Yeah, it looks batshit crazy.
Yeah, I mean you couldn't more easily construct a film that I'd be interested in than this. This just checks off all the boxes. Beating Five Nights at Freddy's to the punch with your evil animatronics movie. That's a very in vogue subgenre, I feel, because what they did, like, what was it last year? They made the Banana Splits movie.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm too young to even know what Banana Splits is, but I know it wasn't a horror. It was like a family show, right?
Yeah, it was like a family variety show.
And it's kind of amazing that it wasn't even like a ripoff or like derivative. They just full on brought that IP back as a horror movie. It's super funny. But Willy's Wonderland, I mean, it pretty obviously does seem like a cash in on the Five Nights at Freddy's thing, but
yeah,
got there first still at the same time. And they also got the amazing Nicolas Cage at the heart of it. This is who else could have been in this movie, right? It had to be.
Yeah, I mean, when like Five Nights at Freddy's like would come up, I never imagined Nick Cage being in it. But now that I see him in something similar to, I'm like, that's the only choice. Like, it's so perfect.
He's gonna kill some animatronic ass in this thing.
And apparently get some ass.
Yeah. It's we've said it before, like the value of getting Nick Cage and letting him go off the rails, but like in a film that encourages him to, it's magic. So often these movies get Nick Cage and they don't know what to do once he goes to the Cage realm. It's like the script doesn't work for it, and so it these like straight to DVD movies. But when you get a Mandy or a Color Out of Space,
that warrants it. It's gold.
You got to know how to harness that Cage energy, and I think this film's going to harness it quite well. I can't wait for Willy's Wonderland. Do we have a release date on that? Did that come out with that teaser?
I didn't see a release date. Check it out.
Yeah, because there's no question about it. Obviously, when that film releases, we're going to be doing an entire episode about it.
Oh yeah, like it'll be an entire episode. We will be breaking down every moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be a next year thing, I imagine, at this point. But
I don't know, because I don't think it's coming out in theaters.
No, definitely don't think it's coming out in theaters, but I don't know how far along it is to being done.
I don't.
Not coming. Maybe they didn't announce a release date yet. I don't know. Maybe they didn't announce one yet. That's okay. I eagerly
VOD 2021.
Okay, so we just know next year we're going to Willy's Wonderland. Yeah. Can't wait to go.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking insane.
Can't wait to go to the Wonderland. Jessica's still in the chat, wondering about 13 Ghosts. I don't really remember a ton about 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, he built a mansion, like created traps and stuff to kill his family. Yeah,
rude. Dick move.
Rude.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. Are we ready to talk about Possessor? That's nuts.
Shortest episode. It's apparently, if there's something going on important in the world, we'll cut it short. This is gonna be the shortest episode, I think,
seriously,
ever for who are they?
It really might. I don't anticipate we'll be talking about Possessor for 2 hours. I don't think we're gonna hit that 3 hour mark that we've become known for. or as Chris Lopez has started calling it, the clean clique. Every time I show up on a show, it goes longer than it usually does. After I stretched out Wrestle Reel when I popped up in there, and I've noticed that Real Talk has gotten a lot shorter, suspiciously, as I stopped showing up on it. They're like been getting out in 90 minutes, real clean. So I don't know. Tonight they'll be the cleanest clique of all. I don't really know. It's just I didn't come in here like necessarily expecting to do a short show, but I imagine
we would have gone, at least 2 hours, but here we are at 45 minutes.
I don't know. Should we like do fucking trivia in the middle or something? I don't know. So I guess it's perhaps so mentally worn out. I don't know. Maybe we're just not rambling we used to. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's something to be said. I mean, I think everybody's just exhausted.
Really scared. We're exhausted. Welcome. Jury's still out if we'll announce the president-elect tonight. I think the show's got to go a little longer if we're going to somehow harness that. But we'll let you know. We'll let you know if they announce it in the midst of our show. Jessica asked, will Nick Cage become Freddy? I don't know if you mean Five Nights at Freddy. No, maybe he'll become Willie. Or maybe he'll become Freddy Krueger is what you meant. I don't know. I can see that working.
Oh, yeah. Him as Freddy Krueger would be pretty cool.
I could see that working. I know people have been rallying for Kevin Bacon to do it, and I could see that working as well.
I can see Kevin Bacon.
I say people are rallying for him to do it. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but Robert Englund said he would like to see it. So that's as much of an endorsement as I need to hear. Yeah. But Nick Cage would be something else. Nick Cage as a slasher would be something else. That'd be kind of Nick Cage playing like a serial killer. I don't know if he's done that before. I'm trying to think. He's dabbled in horror, obviously, but he's usually the protagonist, not the antagonist.
The only time I think he's ever played like a villain is Wild Things.
Oh, don't forget about Face Off.
Oh yeah.
Imagine like the Face Off energy, but he was a slasher serial killer villain. Speaking of slashers, real quick, now feels like a good time to also mention, I don't have it on hand, I can't grab it, but our book of the month pick. Clown in a Cornfield. Here it comes. Connor's got it. Boom. Clown in a Cornfield by Adam Cesare is our November book club pick. We'll be talking about that at the end of the month, and it is a proper slasher novel. I've made some serious. I've entered slasher territory of the book by now, and man, I'm burning through this. I'll be done with this thing by next week, I think.
I think hopefully the election's called by tonight, so I'll be able to dive more into it.
So you can relax and leisurely enjoy the things that make you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go get, man. I would love to get more people in on the book club, because I feel like we have some of our best conversations on our book club episodes. Clown in a Cornfield. Get your copy and read it. It's a fun coming of age, like very slasher influenced story. And I got to the slasher bits today, and it's really, now I'm really tearing through it.
I'll start promoting it on the game stream.
There you go. Maybe just do like a read along where you just read it out loud.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Who are they? Read along.
I'll do breaks in between.
Bedtime stories. I feel like a lot of people could use that, a bedtime story stream.
Yeah.
Like every night we just go live and read you a story as you slip away. I feel like there's a demand for that. I feel like I've been watching the CNN thing relentlessly, and I've been seeing a lot of commercials for Calm, like a sleep aid app. I know Jessica's a big proponent of Headspace. That's been very helpful. We could do that. We could just read you a little bedtime story.
Yeah.
Something to think about. And it's true, Jessica, you do need to finish Halloween, because you didn't even get to the slasher bits yet.
Yeah, we talked about that.
The version of Halloween you've seen, everybody has a pretty normal night and goes to bed. Except the dog. We got that far. Our dog didn't get to go to bed, unfortunately. We got to finish Halloween. Shoot, I guess it's time to get into it, man.
Let's do it.
We got a movie review tonight. We're talking about Brandon Cronenberg's Possessor. Look at that scary image. It's been haunting us for weeks.
And now that there's context to it, it's even weirder.
Yeah, I went into this film kind of vaguely knowing what it was about, but I didn't know like how this shot would play into it, which has been the big promo shot. This kind of like weird Halloween mask looking thing. It's like a face falling off. And yeah, getting context of it, it's kind of even weirder. So it's not. You only get a little bit of that in the film. It's not. It's not all throughout the film, but it was that. It was for me. It was that like DiCaprio pointing me when it happened. I was like, ah, there it is. Yeah, we've been waiting to talk about this for a while. We thought we were going to do it last month, except it actually this film had some sort of semblance of a theatrical release before it went VOD. I don't know where it was playing or where you could have seen it, but it is on VOD now, basically everywhere. It's the uncut version, but I've not seen a cut version anywhere. I'm not sure. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if there is a cut version out there somewhere that is missing stuff. But watch the uncut version, and wow, this is a hell of a movie right here. What did you think of Possessor?
I liked it. I thought it was very. It reminded me a lot of Enemy.
Okay.
Just like the way it was shot reminded me of Enemy. The score reminded me of Enemy. It just reminded me a lot of that, but I really liked it. I think it was just like a cool movie. I can't wait to like dive into it and pick it apart. The only thing I didn't like was the ending.
I'm kind of on board with you there. So the ending has a very sort of, I don't want to say ambiguous ending. You've got a full sense of everything that happens by the end of the film, but not necessarily the full significance of it, at least for me. It was one of those, one of those final shots where I was like, is the movie over? And then the credits came up and I was like, oh, okay. That's
exactly how I was, because I was expecting more like to kind of like explain the significance of what we just saw.
Yeah, because it ends pretty big.
I thought they were going to do more with like the data mining and that company.
Yeah.
And like the guy's girlfriend's dad. Like I just thought more was going to be done with that and revisited. But after that, it's just like they kind of move away from that, and then it's just like building up to the ending, and it just kind of ends. That said, like I was pretty much, and let me say, I watched this movie last night. Okay, yeah. I was in no mind to be watching anything other than the fate of the free world. I think we watched it at the same time.
Basically, yeah, I was because I've been in such a like time vortex these last few days. I got into last night and I went, oh shit, I still need to watch Possessor. The show's tomorrow. Yeah.
Last night I was like, oh shit, tomorrow's Thursday.
Yeah. This week's kind of it's flown by and also lasted forever at the same time this week. Yeah. So I was in like no mind to really watch a movie last night, and yet somehow, about 5 or 10 minutes in, once I got settled into this movie, I was hooked on it. I was very, very immersed in it. That doesn't mean I wasn't checking Twitter once in a while, but that's no commentary on the film. That's just the world we're in right now.
Well, yeah.
I was just I gotta.
The same way. I was so hooked. Like it was like visually captivating.
Yeah, very much so. Has a very. It's definitely the kind of plot that appears to me like this quasi. Like cyberpunk thing. It's not in a way that's very flashy and over the top. But it's not like a Blade Runner, like Neon City type cyberpunk or something like that. But just like thematically, it's got this technology that doesn't actually exist in our world. It's in like a different timeline, right? Because didn't they say it's like 2008 or something? I think.
Did they say that?
I think they. Yeah, I think maybe I have that wrong, but like it takes place a couple of years ago, while also clearly being in a world that's not functioning like ours does. So it exists in a very alternate timeline. I'd say it reminded me in some respects, kind of like like this is kind of like a sci-fi cyberpunk story in the way that like Mr. Robot is, where it's not like it's not like flying cars, but it's taking, you know, the advancement of technology and using that as a framing device to tell a very interesting and unique story. This thing was like, I don't know, it was like Inception from hell is how I felt about it, you know?
Yeah, I did like get like the Inception vibe, like how going into other people's bodies, and then like it's such a cool concept, and how he captured like being in someone else's body was really interesting.
Yeah, when they're like in the between state.
Yeah.
That surreal sort of fake dimension where two consciousnesses, it's a tough word. It's a $4 word, are like battling for supremacy. Reminded me a lot of like, this would be the premise for like some high concept, like video game or anime even. Like it definitely didn't feel like any sort of American movie I've seen before. I agree. I love the idea. It's such a weird spin on like an assassin thing, like going into somebody else's body through a machine and then using them as a scapegoat to get close to your targets, and you know, set up a scapegoat and kill them and remove them, and so you get out with like any sort of trail leading back. And this mysterious corporation. We don't really get into like what the corporation is that sets these jobs up, but
it's a data mining company, and I guess they make all kinds of products, and then they have people pretty much data mining from those products, like the camera products.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's the one that the main character actually like works for, that's doing the like assassinations.
Oh yeah.
That one we really it's kept pretty ambiguous, like who they are.
They take out like high ranking like officials and like members of society. Because it starts out, they don't really explain what he is. He seems like a Russian mobster or something.
Yeah, just some rich guy.
And she's in someone else's body, and I mean, right away, it seems like something's wrong.
Yeah, it opens with her drilling into her own head.
Yeah.
As if like you needed any reminder of what the director's last name is. He opens very, very on brand for a Cronenberg film. A lady drilling into her own fucking head.
The first like 20 minutes are extremely bloody.
Yeah, the violence in this thing is pretty intense. It's not violent from start to finish nonstop, but when
there's violence, it's
Jesus Christ.
It starts out. She's like, can't remember what they say, like who she's in, whose body she's in. They're like, can't remember what she does, but she's just walking through like a restaurant. She picks up a knife, goes up to the guy, just like fucking stabs him in the neck, and then just goes to town on him. Like
a lot of blades going in necks all throughout the movie.
Yeah.
It seemed like some sort of theme, some thematic, some significance to getting stabbed in the neck, I felt like, because a lot of people do. A lot of close-up shots of blades entering throats.
And then I guess she was supposed to kill herself, but she doesn't, and she just gets shot in the like face. And they show it.
Yes, they're very
even more graphic.
Yes, they're not withholding with their violence in this. It is very graphic and very upfront and in your face.
That when she gets out of the body, like you have to die in order to get out of that person's body.
Yeah, which seems very risky to me.
Yeah.
Like I gotta kill myself very quickly so I don't get stuck in this body.
Yeah. And so when she gets out of the body, she has like a series of tests which kind of make sure she's not repressing memories from like the other person's body, I guess.
That reminded me a lot of Blade Runner. That reminded me a lot of like, cells interlinked, that thing.
Cells interlinked Interlinked.
Yes.
I love that scene. That scene stressed me out.
Shit. You know what? I just like immediately wanted to watch that movie now. I kind of if it feels sort of on brand to watch Blade Runner tonight. I don't know. If it was, you know what? No, it would feel more on brand if it was going the other way. That would be like, well, let me just get dystopia mindset right now. But shit, it's been a long time since I watched that. That might be worth watching.
It's so good.
It is very good. But yeah, so she does these tests to make sure she's basically not bringing over somebody else's memories when she gets back into her own body. So she has to like pick up.
They mentioned like you were supposed to shoot yourself. You had a gun. Why'd you choose like a knife?
Yeah. It feels like she's like their lead assassin or whatever, what have you. But
yeah, it's mentioned she's supposed to like take over for
Jennifer
Jason Leigh's character, who's like the head of like this department in the company.
Yeah, and Jennifer Jason Leigh's such a good like deadpan, like cynical. She's so good at just being like that moral dark point, and like it reminded me a lot of her in Annihilation.
Exactly. When she came on screen and like it progressed, like her role progressed, I was like, this reminds me so much of her character in Annihilation.
Yeah, she's very good at that. But yeah, so even though I can't remember the character's name, it's Andrea Riseborough. We mentioned Mandy. She's played Mandy. She was Mandy and Mandy. Tazia Voss.
Yeah, Taz.
Like that. Which also feels like a very cyberpunky future name. Like, you are future assassin Tazia Voss, or like a Star Wars character. Yeah, she's like their lead killer, but apparently it feels like it's starting to really like grade away at her psyche.
Yeah,
she's lingering a little bit longer on these objects, and they're like the interrogation, the tests aren't running as smoothly. And yeah, you mentioned she, for one, they supply her with a gun to kill a target, and she doesn't use it. She uses a blade to kill everybody, and then she also is not able to shoot herself before she exits. She forces police officers to shoot her host. So it feels like she's getting a little rough around the edges. I also thought I thought that part was fascinating, like getting into the head of somebody who has to do this. And I was very surprised when they revealed that she has a family.
Yeah.
Did not expect that at all. And you have that scene of her like trying to remember how she talks, because her family apparently has no shred of an idea.
Yeah.
That she's this insane, like, virtual murderer hitman. I love how original this thing is.
Yeah.
It just feels like an insane idea, like unfiltered. Really cool that they brought it to life in this movie, because I think they did it in a really unique and effective way. But yeah, I did not expect her to have a family. I thought she would be just, living alone, but having to pretend to be like a normal mother and wife. Didn't expect that.
How creepy was that fucking robot?
The robot?
Yeah, the kid's robot toy.
Oh, yeah.
It was so creepy.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that unsettle you all throughout the film. It's a very weird alternate reality this takes place in. It's just like everything feels dark and gross and scary and very, very morbid and trying to stab you in the neck.
Yeah, she gets a new assignment.
Yeah,
that she's hesitant to take because she wants to take time to spend with her family. But I guess they mention it's like time sensitive, so she kind of reluctantly accepts and goes back to work and hops into this low-level employee for this company, Zoo.
Yes, and that's the data mining company.
Yeah, which we mentioned. And
I love. I didn't realize that sequence of him with like the VR headset on. I didn't like get what it was at first. I was like, "What the hell's this guy doing?" But he's like just spying on people, seeing what kind of curtains they use. He's Such a
But yeah,
felt-
he's the local employee employed by his girlfriend's father, who's like the CEO of the company.
yeah.
And the whole mission is to kill him and kill the girlfriend, so
This other guy.
the assassination company can take over.
Yeah, it's like their client will take over, but by association, having done this, they'll basically own him and then own the company all at the same time.
Yeah.
So they all, not only are they covert assassination company, but they're also completely manipulative and have ulterior motives with the cases that they take. So I don't know what their company is. There's some shady conglomerate, but they want to get this data mining company that spies on everybody and looks at what curtains you
probably
have.
to spy on their targets.
Yeah,
That's what I got from it, which I thought they were going to do more with.
right.
But never get there. But yeah,
Just those little pieces though that make the world feel like a real, like, lived in alternate timeline. That doesn't feel, obviously the main thing of like you jump consciousnesses into a different body like that. No, we don't. At least to the best of my knowledge, I don't think we're very close to having that capacity. But the other things like the data mining and the spying and the paranoia felt very true to where we're at now. What's up? Dude, Waffle's being very confident. We're showing up on stream.
I did not pick him up. He's just decided to come up here.
Waffles has been on this stream quite a bit. I'm glad. I'm glad he's getting more comfortable.
Yeah. He's not camera shy.
Good. Welcome to the show, Waffles. We need you now more than ever. Is he? Oh, look, he's nice. Everything you told me about it makes him sound like a hell spawn.
Oh, he is. He's just kind of pretending for the viewers and the co-host. He's definitely a spawn of Satan or some kind of demon. Go ahead, go. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, that's the central kind of conflict and story is she goes into the guy's played by Christopher Abbott. She goes into his body, and obviously she goes into it already struggling with kind of her I don't know what you'd say, her career path, her lifestyle, struggling with that, bringing a lot of potential trauma and uncertainty.
It's like the conflicts start almost immediately when she jumps into his body.
Yeah. She has a hard time adjusting and like having full control. The people in his life kind of immediately pick up that something isn't quite right with him, which I thought was fascinating, seeing her like spying on them and like practicing his like speech patterns and pronunciations of words and like getting it down. But they almost
lock down, because that's one of the first things that kind of goes wrong is she's not acting the same, saying stuff kind of oddly where, his girlfriend is like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're very different.
Yeah. And from this point on, it kind of becomes the Christopher Abbott show where he's basically playing two characters at the same time. Sometimes quite literally at the same time. He's playing a character playing a character. So a lot of layers to his performance in this. But it's the internal struggle of this assassin trying to put on a show until it's time to do the job, and figuring out his life. I really wondered if there was going to be any kind of like moral struggle in this, if like the thing holding her back was maybe questioning what she does and what she puts out into the world, but not really. It seems like at least not in an obvious way. Like that never really comes through in the plot. She's obviously struggling with it, but it seems like maybe it's more of a physical, like neurological thing. Like she's just losing her grip from doing this again and again and again and again. But it's that I thought like maybe as she gets to see this guy's life more and be with the people he's close to, she would start to have second thoughts about committing the murder. But absolutely not. When we get there, like, and we may as well go there. that big scene where she, well, first of all, you called it out wonderfully in the chat when the girlfriend's father is revealed to be played by Sean Bean. What a spoiler that he was going to get killed. And he sure as shit gets killed. Oh, no,
Yeah,
actually, he
like-
doesn't. They say he survives.
No. Yeah, but
So-
barely. But yeah, I was like, put Sean Bean in a role like he dies in everything he's in.
And this is no exception. They say he survived, but for all intents and purposes, he definitely doesn't
Like,
come
he gets
back after this
fucked
one.
Yeah, like there's a dinner party for the company, and he's dragged along, Chris Rabbit, and his Taz's directive is to get kicked out, and then come back and then shoot both of them, and then herself. Very confusing. So he gets drunk and gets kicked out, comes back, and Dad and his girlfriend are drinking at the table. She leaves. He comes in. Again, picks up a different weapon than the gun that he was supplied with.
And I thought that was a fascinating detail that doesn't really get expanded on too much, but
Yeah, like why she chooses to not use the gun.
yeah, because they reprimand her for it for the first. They're like, "Why? What was that all about? Like, we make it quick and easy for you, so you can just get it done and go." And instead, she always puts the gun down for a much more violent and drawn out alternative.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I don't know. I guess that maybe spoke to how. They don't really get into it. I don't know if she's become so desensitized or she gets some sort of like visceral joy out of doing it after a certain point. So she's like ramping it up or like chasing a high or something like that. But she's definitely always making it a lot more gratuitous and disgusting and horrifying than just walking in, killing the targets, and then finishing the job. This time she opts for a fire poker?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. And also the watching her like build up to like ruining the guy's life by having him like start a fight with Sean Bean, like that kind of shit just always kill. Like I just like went so bad knowing like how she's about to ruin this guy's life and his relationship and just the self-sabotage. Just that kind of shit.
Like it's like she decided not to use the gun to like play a game with the dad. Like they put the gun like on the table and was like go ahead and take the gun, like if you want to shoot me. And then like he's like, well, I'm drunk, and gets up and then tries to make a go for the gun, but then they just start beating Sean Bean with the fire poker.
And yes,
so that's not where they stop.
Yes. Kev, we did say Sean Bean. Talking about a Sean Bean joint, and we're literally talking about him dying in this scene right now. It's so on brand. This was a fucking gruesome kill scene, man. I mean, again, like you needed a reminder of Brandon Cronenberg's legacy in life that he's inherited, but he's embracing it full stop in this movie, man. This scene was gruesome as hell. Just smacking him with a fire poker again and again and again. Kaz would fight, if you could fight any actor, it would be Sean Bean for obvious reasons. Well, you don't gotta kill him. That's I don't feel like that could be a bad one to fight because you'll end up with some sort of manslaughter charge after the fact. Go with somebody a little more durable, perhaps.
Yeah.
But at least there's no question. Yeah, I think you successfully win, which is interesting because I don't see Sean Bean as like a wimpy guy, but he's always getting murdered in these things, and this is no exception. He gets whacked to the fire poker again and again and again and again and again,
and then gets it stabbed through his mouth.
Yeah, like in his mouth through the back of his head, and like that's when I thought it was done. I was like, well, he's dead now. He's dead now. Nope. Nope. Then he or she, I don't even know how you really. I guess she is more.
Hey, I've been just saying they because it's two people in the body.
Yeah, they pull it out, and then as they pull it out, a very close up gratuitous shot of like his teeth getting yanked out.
Yeah.
And also, I should say the first hit's so fucking gross because it like peels off his skin or something. It's like really quick and you don't see it super vividly, but like the first hit's super. It's just very gross, and then obviously it goes in the eyeball.
And then
very gratuitous shot of an eyeball popping out of your head. So sorry, sorry for new viewers that if you walked into this conversation and this sort of, I guess I would say it's not par for the course, but this is the horror show, so I guess it is kind of par for the course. Talk about eyeball trauma or whatever. Rather just watch Boromir get murdered. I'll tell you what, Boromir goes out a lot more dignity than Sean Bean does in this film. I'll at least tell you that much. Yeah. I'd rather be Boromir than Sean Bean's character in Possessor, for sure. Yeah, he gets his eyeball popped out. And then, you said that you were saying the daughter walks in.
Yeah, and so they take the gun that's on the table and fire a couple quick shots off, and the daughter is struggling, like she was shot in the back, just crawling, and then they what was it? Didn't they try to like choke her out?
Yeah, they like start to. She gets stabbed as well, though, right?
Yeah, I think they broke like a vase or something. I can't remember exactly how it played out, but there was glass involved.
Yes, you're right. I remember that. Some sort of shard of something. And
then they tried he tried killing himself because he successfully killed the daughter. So they tried killing themselves with the gun, but he can't pull the trigger. Yeah. Kind of struggling. And then it's like Christopher Abbott's character kind of takes the forefront.
Yeah, he gets control, but also she doesn't successfully get out of his body before he takes control again. Yeah. And he takes control and like is looking down on the murdered body of his girlfriend, and her father's in the kitchen. Apparently survives somehow. Yeah. Technically, Sean Bean doesn't die in this movie, but he doesn't come back. So I'm not really sure what condition he's in, but you hear on a news report that somehow he survived. I thought
they show him like briefly in a wheelchair,
but that was like some weird dream.
Oh, thing. Was it?
Because that's when she was still inside his head.
Okay, yeah.
She was going on some like dream journey or something. So I imagine he's in even worse condition than we see him in that little brief scene, because he seems like he's doing okay. He's got a little eye patch on. Just hearing you guys talk about this makes me remember why I never watched movies by someone with Brandon Cronenberg. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the apple didn't fall too far from the tree, and I'm sure Brandon Cronenberg is not loving the constant comparisons to his father. I'm sure he's trying to.
Well, have you seen his movie Antiviral?
I've not actually. This is the first time. The first.
Oh my God, that movie is very gross too.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, it's pretty much David Cronenberg-esque, which I mean makes sense, but yeah.
History of Violence is great. It's true.
Yeah, very good.
A venture away from the body horror of Cronenberg, and then this does have. I was going to say this isn't that body horror-ish, but that's not true. The first scene is a woman drilling into her head. Yeah, and then obviously more. We have whatever this is.
Yeah,
this thing here.
When she first goes into his body, like the skin melting away and then being like rebuilt, like that was really cool. It wasn't really a lot of really gross, but it was still really cool.
Definitely gross, but yeah, there was some really cool like cut-in sequences of like visual representation of whatever's happening in their head as they're like warring for dominance, and they're like shifting into each other, and like eye sockets become mouths, and it gets you just see it really quick. It was like a fucking Code Orange music video or something. You know what I mean? Like just a lot of like distortion effects and creepy noises and just very disturbing visuals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Kaz. It's a weird conversation for you to walk in the middle of talking about teeth and eyeballs flying out. But we do talk about horror movies on this show. So I don't know if we talk about that necessarily every single week, but we get a little nasty on this show. It's been said. We get a little nasty. A little nasty boys. But yeah, that's when the film gets really interesting is when he gets control back of his body, but still has this lingering presence and voice in the back and is like trying to figure out what's going on. He like pulls some weird thing out of his head. They don't really get too in depth to explain like how the machine and the process works. Kind of like an Inception thing where they're like, look, this technology exists in this world. We're not going to try to explain it to you because it doesn't exist in your world. You just accept that it exists and go, you know? But he's like on the run and like getting new clothes and like trying to figure out what's going on. I thought that was such a great, like tense, paranoid couple of scenes.
Yeah.
And I really didn't know where this was going to go ultimately. Like
before we go further, there's one scene. It happened like when she first gets into his body. There's a scene where he's having sex with the daughter of the head of the company.
This movie's a little horny.
Yeah, a little bit horny. There's a few dicks in it.
That's true. This movie goes whole hog.
Yeah, it goes whole hog, but it's like the body of Taz, but then his lower half. And I was just very shocked.
Yeah.
It's not soft. It's not soft hog. It is fully erect hog.
Yeah, it's Andrea like Riseborough top half.
I lost you.
Christopher Abbott. Oh, did I freeze up on you?
Yeah, it's probably on my end.
You got me now?
But you're good. You're good now. Yeah. Okay,
good. Kaz, don't Google soft hog. I don't know. Well, I don't know you very well. I don't know what you're interested in. I don't know what what you like to see. So I don't know. Let me know what you find. Yeah, every scene is surreal and bizarre and freaky, and it's just a fairly horny movie at the same time. Very violent, very horny. I did feel they've been billing this as the uncut version we were saying earlier, and I don't know if there is a different version actually, because when I went to go rent it, I didn't see a different version to rent or anything like that. But this did for me kind of harken back to like seeing an NC-17 movie, you know?
Yeah.
It really felt like it definitely does not feel like a studio movie. The violence is super violent.
Yeah. And then I love the whole shift in like where we're at in life, where like if this movie came out in like 1980, like everybody would be just chain smoking cigarettes. But now that it's 2020, everybody's fucking ripping fat vapes.
Yeah, this guy's vaping.
Like every character in this movie had a vape.
Yeah, I mean it's it's the cigarette of the future, I guess.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not frozen for me. Am I frozen?
Uh-oh. Yeah, you keep lagging.
Really?
But I don't know if it's just on my end. It's probably on my end. Let me see.
If it's making a difference on the chat. Whoa! I disappeared altogether. Now it's just me. It's very close. Producer Matt says I'm clear in the background. If you're in chat, let me know. Oh, he's already on it.
Well,
Kaz is on it. No one is frozen for me, so I guess it's
it had to have been Connor. I wonder if his internet just dropped.
I wonder. Oh no.
Because that's what's happened to me before, where I freeze out and then all of a sudden, pop,
gone. We all end up in the upside down eventually.
Yes.
Well, Matt, how are you doing, man? I know you didn't watch Possessor, so I'll take a break from talking about it.
No, I did not. Oh, hold up. I think we got Connor back. There we go.
Matt, what's your opinion on soft hogs? Quick.
What's soft hogs?
Oh, God.
I guess you have to Google it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody vapes in this movie.
Everybody vapes. That's my new children's book. Everybody vapes. Well, speak of the devil. There it is. Yeah, Yeah, a lot of future vaping in this, and like, oh, and he's shaking the G Fuel as well. I'll go ahead and do a little glug on another glass for myself. Once we get into like the hectic paranoia of the, I don't know what is, I don't really know how to talk about this character. I'll just say, once he's in the hectic paranoia phase, again, felt very Mr. Robot to me, like being followed by Men in Black, like having done this horrible crime, and like nobody's associating him with it yet, but it's like only a matter of time, and he's like laying low and trying to sort out what's going on in his head, and he like knows somebody else is in there, and he like goes to I don't know, like a former fling of his, and he goes to like stay at her apartment, and in the midst of it, what's her name? Tisla Voss. That's such a Star Wars name. Tisla Voss or whatever.
Yeah.
Gets control again. It's so scary when she gets
They keep calling her Taz, I think.
Yeah. So scary when she gets control again and is now in this woman's apartment, and they keep like flipping back and forth between, it looks like Andrea Riseborough and Christopher Abbott, and that there's that great scene of like the handler finds them, and they're like,
that scene reminded me of Looper. Like he has like a weird like electrical gun, and just like tells them to get, because like the handler plays like Christopher Abbott's character's like friend at the company.
Yeah, there's layers of this shit.
Yeah, but he was like recruited by the like assassin company to kind of scout Christopher Abbott's character, to kind of like that's our target.
Yeah.
So he comes by and is like, no, why don't you grab me a drink? And he's like, oh, you know, whoever, I can't remember the girl's name, but you know her? And he's like, yeah, why don't you grab me a drink? Turns around, just pops him in the head with like this electrical gun.
Yeah, I thought he was dead. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, I thought, like, I was just like, what the fuck? But yeah, it was just a gun to like knock him out, like fuck up like the signals in the device in his head. Yeah.
It like turned off his I don't know,
neural link.
Yeah. And then get to that sequence where he's like trying to recenter or like give her control over the body again, because the job's not over, because the like tech wizard survived. Sean Bean survived, so the job's not over, and it seems like they're gonna have to send him back out to go kill him in the hospital or wherever he's at. But like right away he wakes up. Yeah,
because it's all in that like in between where they're kind of like, there's this cool scene where like
this part.
Yeah. Well, was it this part?
Or did that come a little bit before?
I think that came a little bit. I think it came after.
Oh, maybe it's at. There's kind of like
this because this scene, it's like it's flashing back and forth between like that in between and then what's really happening. It was so cool because it was just like quick cuts. Like he's really on the bed and they're like recentering him, but then it like cuts really quickly and you see like his consciousness like walk into the room, and then it like goes fully like, in this in between, and they're like fighting for control.
They meet and they're like dialogue is over top each other, saying the same things at the same time.
Yeah. No, maybe it was this scene because then they're like wrestling for control over the body. He like crushes her skull.
Yeah. He grabs her head and it like deflates.
It just like takes, like skin of her like head and just puts it on.
And that's when we finally see this image that we've been coming back to for weeks on end here.
Yeah, and striking. He goes through tracks down her family, all this stuff. It's very strange.
Yeah, I was definitely at this point I was very on edge because I really had no idea where this was going to go. like waking up and the handler's dead and his friend is dead. And now he's in control of his.
After that, like with the mask, like he comes to, and apparently
again.
Like he's killed, like while they were fighting for consciousness, like shot the handler, shot the girl.
Yeah. Everywhere he just keeps waking up and he's covered in blood and people are dead all around him.
Yeah.
So he's just having this very existential crisis. And is his final, like, well, he's trying to figure out who the woman is in his head. I think it seems like his big plan is to lure her out so he can just kill her. So, but that becomes his plan as he finds her family and goes in their home and breaks into their home and, has the father there and he's waving the gun around and just basically he's demanding that she comes out, show yourself, reveal yourself, so I can kill you and get answers or whatever. And she's not showing up because she's in his head. He doesn't understand what's going on. It's obviously a very covert technology and I don't know what you'd say, business model this company has. Not a lot of people know this is possible. And she doesn't come out. And so another very violent murder of, is it her, I don't know if is it her husband or just ex-husband or something like that. She doesn't live with them anymore, I know, right? But the father to her child, there's a struggle and it's just another brutal fucking, what does he use to kill him?
A meat cleaver.
That's it. Yeah, he cuts his fingers off.
Like a big chunk of his hand just right off, and then
zoom in real close on it as it's like writhing on the ground. Ugh, those Cronenbergs, man.
And then goes for his neck, and then just like fucking
again and again and again.
Yeah,
it felt like very much like how she murders people. Is like finding a nearby object and then just bludgeoning or stabbing them with it again and again and again and again. So like that felt. I mean, I guess he would know because he's seen it through her eyes, so he knows how it happens. After the current conversation question about, well, we can talk about Upgrade afterwards too. I mean, I guess that's kind of an interesting comparison. They're kind of comparable movies. And so then we get one more. I've been saying there's a lot of neck stabs in this. We get one more little knife in Krista Rabbit's character's neck. And we
from the little boy
zoom out. It's a kid. It's the little fucking kid. And this was you really don't see this
reflex. Shoots the kid in the stomach.
Yeah, he shoots the kid, and that's you really don't see, even as much horror as we watch, you really don't see like overt violence towards children in movies very often. And whenever you do, it eventually goes like that's definitely an eye opener. You're just like, holy fuck, you're going.
Yeah, because what comes right after is even more graphic than the shot to the stomach.
Yeah, he shoots him again in the face. It's just the last time I can remember seeing something like that was House That Jack Built, the Lars von Trier movie. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah,
I think that was the original Really Scared episode. I think that was what I reviewed, was the House That Jack Built. That one, again, that's one where I felt like that's like an NC-17 movie. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Cass saying, "Whoops, I hit the wrong button." Cass saying, seen more of that lately. I can't say on my personal experience I've seen a lot more than I recall. That's that House That Jack Built's the last time that I can really remember having seen it. Maybe there's some examples I'm forgetting. I mean, it's very graphic. What I'm saying is very graphic. You know, it's not implied violence or anything like that, or like
they show like the bullet hitting his face and then like a reverse shot and the back of his head just explodes.
Yeah, like
very graphic,
very visual, not cutting away or anything like that. And you don't. I personally haven't seen that often, and when I do see it, it definitely is like, oh shit, you went there. Still, to me, it feels like there's not a lot that feels, taboo in films anymore, but like that's still, even as somebody who watches sort of this depraved stuff. Going through your head, I thought you said graphic. I thought it was pretty graphic. I don't know what kind of films you watch, Kaz, to be fair. I'm just meeting you at the first time, so I don't know what kind of films you're used to watching. I thought it was pretty graphic.
His favorite film is Serbian film.
Well, talk about graphic violence against children. That's certainly one of the torchbearers there. And this is where, but that's so we were saying the film kind of just ends because finally,
yeah, because right before he gets shot in the head, he says, "Pull me out."
Yeah, which is
and you're like, what?
To punch up the machine and get her out of the body.
Yeah, but then we pull out. We realize Jennifer Jason Leigh's character had actually gone into the little kid's body.
Is that what that meant?
Yes. She implanted herself in the little kid's body to pull her out. Because she knew if like she wasn't gonna pull Taz out of that guy's body, she was just gonna die. So she implanted herself into the kid, stabbed her in the neck to like kill her, to pull her out, and then like reflex, the guy shot the kid and killed the kid, and so both of them were pulled out.
Interesting. I didn't, because that's that shot is when she gets out of the machine and she sees Jennifer Jason Leigh sitting next to her. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, what does that mean? That like, what is the implication of her also doing it? You know, what obviously she helped her get out somehow. I did not see that at all. That she had been the kid. So that's so weird.
That's why the kid says "pull me out" because it was Jennifer Jason Leigh in the kid's body.
Oh, wow. You explaining it makes it so obvious. I feel like I guess maybe I was doom scrolling at the time. I don't know. But okay, that makes a lot more sense. So what, they like set that kid up at like birth with this technology or something, maybe? Like
must have been.
God, that's fucking dark.
Yeah.
Anytime you're walking around,
use the family as like a ploy.
That's fucking dark. Wow. Yeah. Kaz is asking, does knowing this detail make me like it more? It definitely makes me understand it more. That's definitely one of the sort of ambiguous details that I wasn't getting at first. I guess it wasn't that ambiguous. So that's an interesting layer to it, because the big ambiguous thing. I haven't had that much ambiguous. Thank you. Thing is that once the main character wakes up and gets out of the machine and having just seen, you know, her family be brutally murdered, doesn't seem that upset. That's what I thought was strange. I thought, you know, she'd get out of that and have this big episode and collapse and be in hysterics, but seems pretty content with what happened.
It goes through the normal like rebalance.
Like, they're doing it ends with her doing the test one more time, right?
Yeah.
And I thought like maybe her answers would change. Well, because she pulls out the butterfly thing again. You know, the first time she does it, the first time she brings it out, she says, you know, I killed it as a kid and mounted it. I felt bad about it, and I still do feel bad about it. And this time she just says, you know, I mounted it and killed it as a kid, and doesn't say anything anymore after that. So
I guess what it means is, to start out, she was feeling guilt about certain things she was doing to like these people's lives. Because there is mention that she had separated from her family because of what she might do. Like she wasn't safe for them.
Yeah.
So I think after like them being killed off, there's really no guilt for her. She has no guilt. She's just like a killing machine now.
Yeah.
I guess that's what that could mean.
I think you're on the right track, because it seems like that's the thing, is she's become so desensitized and depraved that, like, again, they don't say it out loud, but it seems like she's finding joy in the jobs that she's doing, and like it's not enough to just show up, get it done cleanly, and go on to the next one. It's like some part of her.
And when she's in his head, being like in the background, she tells him straight up to kill her ex-husband.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
go for it, fucking kill him. So I think at this point she's like just gone off the deep end. She has nothing that is really causing her guilt. Like once they're out of her life, she really has nothing besides the job.
Yeah, she's been freed from her, like the anchors of her humanity, and just gets to be this sort of
Now
face.
that we're discussing this, I like it way more.
Yeah, she's now just sort of shed any kind of identity and is just like murder incarnate by the end of it, perhaps. Although I don't get the sense that that's going to work much longer for her, because this last job didn't go that smoothly. I mean, she didn't even get all her targets.
She was
wasn't
only
in
supposed to kill 2 targets, killed one of those targets plus 2 innocent people.
Yeah, although I don't know if Sean Bean's going to be in any condition to run the company anymore. I don't know what kind of state he's actually in. And I guess the sort of way it ends, it just makes me. I think we kind of got to what it was saying within the fiction of the world, but movies like this, I get to the end of, and I always kind of. I don't think every movie has to be saying something per se. You know, movies can just be an interesting story, and that's that. But it felt like. I don't know. It felt like this was making some kind of greater point that I didn't get. And maybe that was kind of my biggest hang up, is I don't know if it was trying to make a statement on something. It certainly feels like it, because it's this like sci-fi story, which very often is, you know, pulling from real life and putting it through this fictional lens in a way that crafts an interesting commentary or builds a perspective that you maybe didn't have before. And I don't know if I don't know if it really accomplished that, or if it was trying to say more than tell a good story. It didn't hit with me. I don't really know. And maybe it wasn't getting at anything more than what it was. I don't know. Obviously it is pulling from factors of real life, with these conglomerates becoming, you know, so powerful that they could run a business and murder, you know, having eyes and ears in every facet of your life, and to the point where technology, they could literally override your consciousness and even have it built into your children. You know, maybe that's it. Maybe it is just sort of a satirical projection of where technology could advance and take us. You know, there's always ideas and theories about the like singularity and humanity and technology, the line becoming thinner and thinner between those two things. I think thankfully we're probably still pretty far removed from assassination possession technology. As far as I know, I don't know. Maybe if they successfully raided Area 51, they would have found that down there. You remember that shit? Remember it? Doesn't that feel like 100 years ago?
8 years ago, yeah. Wasn't it this summer?
When they were going to Naruto run into Area 51.
Oh no, that was last summer, right?
I think so. I think it was at least a year ago, but it feels like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Kaz detests movies that say something, just nail the story and characters. I don't think you're wrong on. I don't think you're wrong on the last point. I think you have to nail the story and characters before you can get to the part where it says something. Like we were saying, I don't think every movie needs like a moral necessarily, but sometimes you get to the end of the film and think maybe there was some sort of idea that was intended to be communicated. And I felt by the end of this like that there was something that maybe just didn't land for me. Haven't you watched Zoolander? I haven't watched Zoolander 2 though, but I watched Zoolander. That nails the story and characters. So yeah, no, I
think what it was trying to say, if we didn't have like emotional attachment to things, we would just be like lowest form of like animals, just complete chaos.
Murder ghosts. This did have like a very, again, I said it before, like, but it felt like very like Ghost in the Shell, kind of a Matrix flavor to it as well, but just a even more cynical and darker rendition of it, which seems to be, you know, it's got that horror influence for sure. Because I would still say this was definitely to me a horror movie.
Yeah, definitely.
I could see someone arguing maybe it wasn't, and it definitely is a kind of a sci-fi hybrid between the two. But I found this movie scary. I thought it is very sort of anxiety inducing, especially when you get to the parts where it's like they're both housed in the same body and he's like trying to hide from the people following him and trying to hide from the voices in his head. I thought that, and even the build up to like him killing, Sean Bean's character and all, like, I thought all that stuff was very, very, very dread laced. So I would definitely say
that is a staple of all of our reviews. We will rate it out of 5, whatever we choose. I think tonight we're going to do out of 5.
5, whatever this is.
I was going to do Sean Beans.
5 beans?
5 beans.
5 beans up?
Coming into the show, I was ready to give it 3, but as we discussed the ending, I think that shifted my perspective. I'm going 3.5 out of 5 beans.
I would easily 3.5 beans. As I was watching it, I even suspected it would be a 4 bean film.
Yeah.
But I think maybe just because the ending, I kind of got lost in the ending a little bit is what pulled me down to 3.5 beans. Although you introduced a layer to it that I totally missed the first time, which makes it make more sense. But I don't know that I immediately got it or like was immediately satisfied with it at the end.
Yeah, I mean,
that's okay.
I'm more satisfied than I was when I first watched it after discussing it, but it's not completely satisfying because I'm sure there's more, but it might just be completely lost in whatever was going on with the movie. But yeah, a solid 3.5 beans.
For sure. And I would absolutely recommend it for what that's worth. It's out on VOD now. Just a couple bucks too. I'm getting so used to like these high VOD prices as like these studio films come out and go straight to demand. This is like a $5 rental. Totally worth your $5. I would say even worth owning because I probably will watch this again sometime. Bought it. Good move. I should have just went ahead and bought it. I definitely would recommend Possessor if you like sci-fi films, if you like horror films, if you like Cronenberg. This isn't David Cronenberg, but if you like that visceral experience, if you like seeing that practical effect violence, if you like stuff that's dirty and gritty and it compromises your soul, I feel like this is the kind of movie that does that.
Yeah, overall, it's just a very visually compelling and just interesting movie. So it's definitely worth the watch. Worth the watch,
and I know you'll like this. Again, I mentioned NC-17, but it's totally felt like a movie I would have like
watched on IFC at 2 a.m. Yeah,
stayed up too late. Like that, you just don't see movies that are this fucking like merciless that often, where it's just like graphic sex and nudity and violence, and not in a way that's like over the top and edgy, but just in a way that's like not pulling any punches, that's like not afraid to be honest about what it's depicting. It's just very in your face, but not in a way that's I would say not in a way that's tasteless or done purely for shock value. But yes, a very harrowing, gritty, freaky movie. Yes, $5 to compromise your soul. I would absolutely recommend it. If you're listening to this and you're thinking like, I could handle this, check it out. See if you can handle it. I'm sure you can. But it's good. A good original twist on sort of a sci-fi assassin thing. I dug it a lot. Possessor was super good. And since you mentioned it, Kaz, I think comparing it to Upgrade's kind of an interesting comparison.
Yeah. I don't like this better than Upgrade.
I don't think I like it better than Upgrade. I really did dig Upgrade. I would say they're pretty close. Like they're definitely like an interesting double feature because that one also
is such a cool double feature, and I'm gonna do that one day.
Yeah, because they're both very violent movies. One's a revenge movie and one's kind of an assassin movie in some respect, but both very violent. But small scale stories. And Upgrade has that cyberpunk flavor to it as well. And I dug Upgrade a lot. I mean, we've talked about Leigh Whannell on this show naturally being from Invisible Man, and he's making Wolfman next, but Upgrade's where it really starts.
Upgrade miniseries.
Oh, that's right. They are turning into a show. Which I'm kind of skeptical about, but he's attached to it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's directing all 10 episodes.
Oh, fuck. I'm sure we talked about that at length and I just forgot.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm game for that for sure. I wonder where they'll find time to make that between him becoming the head honcho of the dark universe, so to speak. And I agree. Logan Marshall Green has been doing some great work. I feel like he's broken out of the discount Tom Hardy thing. People are always comparing him to Tom Hardy, and they do look a lot alike, but he's a fantastic actor and is doing work that warrants him being a name that you know instead of just guy that looks like Tom Hardy. In the same way that like Jesse Plemons used to be the evil Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons is like become one of my favorite modern actors. Like I love everything that guy's in. Upgrade was awesome. I think that if you liked that movie, then I definitely would recommend this. Upgrade, I would say, is like more fun.
Yeah, Upgrade is definitely more fun. Like I remember like enjoying every moment of that movie. Yeah. Whereas Possessor is very harrowing and disturbing. And I can put Upgrade on anytime. True. And have a good time. Possessor, I mean, I did buy it and I will watch it again, but it'll be like a month before I do.
Yeah. It's not an anytime movie. You kind of got to be in the right mood to watch something like that. But whatever mood I was in last night apparently ended up being the right mood, which was just filled with societal dread. Maybe not a better film, but a better movie. I'm not sure. Some people like have distinctions between like film and movie, and I really don't. I use them pretty interchangeably. Yeah. I would say Upgrade's if you're just looking to watch an entertaining movie, I would pick Upgrade. And if you're in the mood for something that has more of a horror influence, then I would definitely say Possessor. Yeah, some people think film just has more of a artistic or sophisticated feel to it. I've seen that before. I've heard that before. I've come to just sort of use them interchangeably. I always feel like people who say like, no, this wasn't a movie, this was film. It's like that's fucking snobby, dude. I don't care what you say, dude. The Boss Baby is a film. I don't care. I don't care. That's cinema. That's Kino right there. I don't know. I use them very interchangeably, but it is funny sometimes to say shit like that because some people do, I think, give more merit to the word film. But no, yeah, this Possessor was sweet. I dug it.
Yeah, dude, do a Upgrade Possessor double feature. It'd be fucking insane.
It would. So yeah, I dug it, and that's pretty much all I got for the night, man.
What we got?
Talked about Possessor a little bit more than I expected. I don't think this is our shortest episode yet, but it's a far cry from the 3-hour marathons we've been doing on this channel so much regularly, which is fine. I think we could use a quicker episode for a change.
What are we doing next week?
That's a great question. Next week, we've actually got a couple of guests. Always love having guests on the show. Next week, we're going to be talking to Jed Bryan, who's the director and writer of the film Unlisted Owner, which is a found footage horror film that came out a couple of years ago. We're talking to Jed. And we'll also have Jimmy Dempster on the show, who's the star of award-winning short film Box and upcoming slasher feature film Killer Babes, which is coming out next year. So very excited to talk to both of them. We're going to have both of the guests on at the exact same time. So it's going to kind of have like a talk show vibe to it. It's going to be sweet. Yeah. So like got two guests on the couch, so to speak. So that's cool. Always love having guests on the show. Always love making new friends. And of course, we mentioned it before. Make sure you go to wretchedapparel.com, ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins. Make sure you check out wretchedapparel.com. Just dropped a sweet new zombie t-shirt. Look at that. You love it. Promo code, Reely Scared, REELYSCARED, all one word, and you will get 10% off of your purchase. Again, I've got my Wretched on right here. Big Menacing Cthulhu rising out of the ocean. They got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of different original horror art on shirts and hoodies. Getting cold out. Got to get your hoodies. might as well get 10% off while you're at it. So go check out wretchedapparel.com. We'll be back next Thursday, as we always are, at 8 p.m.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitch.
Yes, follow us on Twitch
throughout the week. So just keep an eye out for the streams. I will be playing Vampire more regularly once the election is over, but I'll get back to that.
Yes.
Maybe some Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures games. We'll be getting to that. I do. Oh, hold on. I have something for you that I'll be dropping off.
Oh, me. Yes.
Got that for you, so we'll be able to play.
Yeah, we're expanding our gaming content on Twitch. You and I are going to be playing. At least I'm going to try to get into the horror games. I really want to start getting into streaming regularly games.
I mean, you got break coming up soon, right?
Yes, so that'll probably be it. You know, in a week or two, that's probably when I'll hopefully get into streaming on here a little bit more often. But follow us on Twitch. It's one of the best things you can do to support this show and this channel. I would love to play Phasmophobia, Kaz. Is that VR only though? I don't. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not VR only. I don't know if you've seen that game, Connor, but it's like first person co-op ghost hunting. It looks.
Oh shit.
It's been like all the rage. It is not VR only. Okay, because I don't have one of those Possessor VR headsets yet.
Now, is that on Steam or is that?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
Is that like on console?
No, I don't think it's on console. I think it's a PC only. Yeah, it's just a Steam joint. So that might take a little bit extra time. We're still kind of getting this. Yeah, we're still getting kind of set up on the gaming in here. We're strictly console right now, but we're slowly working towards getting to do PC.
Yeah,
gaming.
the holidays I should have like a PC going. I'll buy a gaming router. Waiting for the holidays when everything goes on sale.
Yeah, exactly. Can't say movie talk is good enough. I very much appreciate the sentiment because we love talking about movies. I'm glad you're enjoying the movie conversation. But yeah, we'll definitely add some gaming in between. We got shows on this channel basically every week. We've got movie shows, we got wrestling shows, we've got Schmodown shows.
Yeah.
There's basically putting content out on this channel every single week. So. And the best way to stay on top of that,
we're averaging like 20 hours. We're averaging like 20 hours of content a week.
Yeah. Cass, so next week we're not necessarily reviewing a movie, but we'll have guests on. So if you want to come back next week, I would say go check out Unlisted Owner. It's our guest Jed Bryan's film. He directed and wrote it. I'm sure it's easy to find. It's been out for a little bit, so I'm sure it's on VOD everywhere. So if you want to keep up with the conversation next week, check out Unlisted Owner and Jimmy Dempster's short film Box. Let me see if I can find a link for it real fast before we sign off here tonight. I can throw it in chat for you. He's been in a couple things. He
was in the prison scene of Fast and Furious 7, which was the best part of that movie.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
Box short. He sent me a link on Instagram. I should just pull that up. Oh, come on.
Wait, I thought Fast 8 had the prison scene.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fast 8, sorry.
Is this it here? Why can't I
Oh,
find
my
it?
God. I need to get a new router. I keep freezing.
Here it is. I got it. Okay. Got the box URL. So Jimmy Dempster, I'm going to send it in chat. Let me get it in all chats here. Short film Box that he started. I believe he produced it as well. Oh, no. I'm full screen. What happened? Are you going to the Upside Down, Connor? You see me? Oh, no. He's not answering. Uh-oh.
Yeah, oh, my God.
I feel like that's a good as cue as any to get out of here. So if you want to follow the conversation next week, check out Unlisted Owner, check out Short Film Box, which I just linked in the chat there. Next Thursday, Reely Scared goes live at 8 as we do every single week. So thank you to all that watched and listened tonight.
Sunday, because of lack of movie news, we're going to be having another game night in place of Real Talk. So there's that also.
Doing Jackbox?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Jackbox on Sunday, which means people watching at home can play with us. You don't have to just watch. You can actually play and participate and have fun with us. So
Possibly Among Us also. We'll see about that.
maybe a little Among Us. That is the man with the plan. You're always looking in the back. So, got games on Sunday night. Maybe have some video game streams in between. And if you like this show, Thursday at 8 p.m. to watch Reely Scared. Thank you so much. Check out wretchedapparel.com. Coupon code Reely Scared. And we'll see you next week, Ghouls and Goblins. Good night, especially you, Kaz. We'll see you, new friends. We'll see you next time. Good night, guys.
Good night.